John Kavakis here with a new edition of My Take, and today we're looking at Goldvarg's 1961 Mercury Monterey. Let's talk about Mercury for just a second. Now, ever since it's been around, it's meant several different things in several different eras. Some people saw it sometimes as a baby Lincoln. There are other times where it was just a mid-priced family car. And recently it was a rebadged Ford until it died. And some people thought that might have been a little bit of a mercy death by killing it off. It really wasn't much more than different trim than what Ford was offering. But in the late 50s and early 60s, it had a definite image. It was mid-priced, but it was upper mid-priced. A little bit classier, a little bit nicer inside, a little bit nicer trim on the outside. And yes, it shared bodies with the Ford, and there were some similarities, but every maker was doing that. And I think, in my opinion, the designers at Mercury did a nice job of distinguishing those early 60s Mercurys from the Fords. I think they worked hard to kind of class it up. And again, in my opinion, I think they did a good job. The Mercury Monterey nameplate lasted from 1952 all the way through 1974. And it occupied nearly every level of trim that was available through that time, from the top of the line to the base model. But in 1961, it was in its fourth generation, and it was a top-of-the-line model. It was as good as a Mercury got. The 1961 model was 4 inches shorter. It was a year of downsizing. Everybody was downsizing from the excesses of the late 1950s and 1960s. So it was 4 inches shorter. It was 300 pounds lighter, and it could come with a 330 horsepower V8. You could even get it with a 4-speed, so it was a pretty hot car. Goldvarg's given us the model in the two-door hardtop in 2 different colors. It's in metallic red, and it's in this mint with a white roof that I've got here. Now, the mint is, it's a light green, maybe a little shade of turquoise to it, but the color is accurate according to the color chips. So let's get it out of the box and take a look at it. I love the fact that Sergio has gone hard on some of these cars that we don't always think about when we think about cars that should be offered. And once he gets them into their boxes and ready for display, we realize what a great looking car it is. And this one's no exception. So here we are. This is the Monterey 2-door. I mentioned the color, the paint's fantastic. I love this roof line. It's got that echo of the Thunderbird roof line that showed up on the Ford. The trim kind of helps on it, but the car looks lean. It looks lithe. It looks purposeful. I love the scaled down look. I really like the cars of the 50s, but when we got into 61, 62 and everything, they looked nimble. They looked like they could handle well. They looked a little bit less like barges. So he's got the shape of the car really well. The grille, typical Goldvarg excellence here. Really well done lensing on the grille. The badging up front, those little fender ornaments on top, they're little works of art. I really like this. And you go around to the side, the wheels are well done. I think they could use a little bit more detail, but they're well done and they're accurate according to what we see in the full-size brochures. The trim on the side is all plated. It's very well done, very delicate. Typical, minute, almost microscopic badging, but well done. Separate door handles around the back. I think he's captured the essence of the back. There are echoes of the 59, 60 Lincolns there, but much smaller, much better size. The lensing on the taillights is excellent, and of course the black wash on the back grille is really well done as well. The wheels are the right size, white walls are the right size, and of course, if I'm looking at a Goldvarg, I'm going to be looking at the interior. But before we get in there, the windshield surrounds are very well executed. The windshield wipers themselves are to scale. It's these little details that make cars like the Goldvarg models really pop and give them the realism that we're looking for in a miniature model. In the interior, again, typical Door panels, well detailed. The seats aren't made out of fabric, but they look like they are. And if you can get a light in there to look at the dashboard and the steering wheel is an accurate replica of the 1.1, and the dashboard just pops. It's done a really good job. Okay, so Goldvarg has given us a model of a car that I don't think gets the respect it deserves as far as the design is concerned. Let's take a look at the 5-star. Fidelity, it calipers out really well. This is exact 1/43. Trim, lensing, and badging, it gets a 5. Color, I'm giving it a 5. Interior detail, 5. Wheels and tires, I'm going to go with a 4 on the wheels and tires. Again, this is something that doesn't detract from the model, but I think they could use a little bit of more dimensionality. And the value at $109, this is a great value. So it gives an overall 5-star rating of 29 points. You know, and we're seeing a lot of models, at least in my opinion, that are coming in at 28, 29, some 30 points or so. But they're worth it. They have earned these things. These are really well done models. You got to look really close to find any fault with them. So I'm saying 29 is almost perfect. It's very close to it, and I'm sticking to it. so hey, this is my take on Goldvarg's 1961 Mercury Monterey. Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor before you leave, if you would. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Got to go to YouTube to do that. Leave a comment if you have a difference in opinion or if you like what you see. And of course, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I'll be back again real soon.